Hi guys, welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Carmen. Welcome. So in this video today, numerology reveals if you were born to be a leader of the new earth and not even realize it. Because there's a lot of people out there that were born to become leaders in this new earth that's being created, and they have no idea, right? They have no idea that this is one of the main reasons they were born at this time. You might be one of these people, right? But let's talk about what the new earth is first. So new earth is basically what it says it is, right? It's the new earth that's being created. So there's a great spiritual awakening that's happening on the planet right now. And a lot of people are waking up to the reality of what the universe really is, right? For the past thousands of years, Earth has been a very dense, difficult, third-dimensional planet to incarnate onto. And it's actually the most difficult planet to incarnate onto. If you want to find out more information about this, you can check out a video I did on how to find out if you are a star seed. I'll put a link to that below in the description box. But basically, in a nutshell, for thousands of years now, Earth has been a very low vibrational planet. But everything evolves, and Earth right now is on the path of evolution. And it's currently evolving into a more higher dimensional, higher vibrational planet to be on. Right? So future generations that come here won't have as much difficulty on the planet as they do currently. And the future of planet Earth is very, very bright. It's going to be a very high vibrational planet to be on. And this is the new Earth that's currently being created. So basically, during this time, there's a lot of people that are light workers on the planet, right? People that have basically agreed to incarnate onto this planet to bring more love and to bring more light onto the planet, right? What a light worker is somebody who helps other people to become lighter. So that's exactly what a light worker is. It's somebody who helps other people to become less dense, right? Lower density, lower vibration. They become lighter and they help other people to become lighter. And in the process of that, the planet becomes a lighter place. And what I mean by lighter is they help people to let go of the baggage, right? When we become lighter, we let go of all of the baggage that is, that we're holding on to. It's the baggage that makes us more dense and more low vibration. So think of it like an onion. It's like there's the onion at its core, and then there's all the layers that have built on top of the onion over time. So since the onion was born, it's been accumulating layer after layer after layer. Every time something traumatic happens to it, or every time something bad happens to it, then think of it as, like an analogy, right? Then that's another layer that gets added to the onion. It's one layer after another. And eventually we stop seeing the onion at its core and for what it really is, because all of these dense layers have been building up upon it over time. To become lighter is to get rid of all of that, all of those layers, right? All of those layers that have been building up over the years through the trauma that you've experienced, through the challenges, through the negativity, right? When you get rid of all of your baggage, then you become lighter. And a light worker is just essentially somebody they've done a lot of healing basically. And they are somebody that then goes out and takes that into the world, and they help the world to do the same. And in that process of helping people to do that, then the earth becomes lighter, right? And the earth becomes a more high vibrational place. There are light workers on the planet that are doing this just by being pure, loving, kind people, right? They're not in leadership positions, so they just might have an ordinary job, and they're being a light worker just by being themselves and being kind and authentic. So there's that group of light workers, right? But then there's the other group of light workers, and these are the light workers that have been called into action. And they specifically came down to the planet at this time because they were meant to actually take leadership roles as being a light worker. Not all light workers are going to be in leader type positions trying to make changes on the planet. But then, as I said, there's that other group of them that were born to take leadership positions during all of this, right? All of this evolution and all of these things that are happening on the planet right now with the creation of New Earth, those people were meant to take leadership positions during this time. And they're being called into action by the universe to do this. And so numerology reveals if you were one of these people. So helping to lead the planet in this transition from the old Earth into the new Earth. And I also wanted to add that one of the big signs that you were born to be a new Earth leader is feeling like you don't fit into the world, right? So always feeling like you've been out of place and like you've never really fit in. And that's because you don't feel like you fit into this world because you were not meant to be a part of this world. You were meant to be a leader of the new world. So it makes sense that you would not be in alignment with this old current world that we are living in, right? And you aren't in alignment with it. Your energy is not in alignment with it, and your purpose is not in alignment with it either. So keep watching, because at the end of this video, I'm going to give all you New Earth leaders some guidance that will really help you out a lot. And we can tell if you were born to be one of these leaders of the New Earth by looking at the numbers in your chart, because there's a specific combination of numbers that we look for. And if you have this specific combo of numbers, then you were born to be a leader of the New Earth. And you might not even realize this. So I'm going to show you how to calculate just a couple very important specific numbers within your chart right now. It only takes a few minutes. It's very easy and simple. If you already know what your numbers are, then you can go ahead and skip to the rest of the video. I'll put the timestamp for that right here. So I'm going to really quickly show you how to calculate a few numbers in your core chart. If you need a more detailed, slower explanation, you can always check out a video I did about how to calculate the numbers in your core chart. I'll put a link to that video below. To calculate your life path number, and this is going to be the most important number in your chart, you're going to take the month, day, and year of your birth and reduce each one of those to a single digit. So December, as you can see, reduces to a number 3, 14 reduces to a 5, and 1995 reduces to a 24, which then reduces to a 6. You're going to reduce each one of those to a single digit, then you're going to add all three of those numbers together and keep reducing them until you get a single digit. And that's going to be your life path number. If you get an 11, 22, or 33, you do not add the two numbers together. You just keep it as it is, because those are master numbers. To calculate your expression destiny number, you're going to take the first, middle, and last name that was written on your birth certificate at the time of your birth, or whatever name was written on there, because some people don't have middle names. Using the Pythagorean number system, you're going to find all of the corresponding numbers to every single letter in your whole entire name. And you're just going to take all of those numbers and add them straight across and keep reducing until you get a single digit. Unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, those are master numbers, and you do not reduce them. Now, there's a more detailed way to calculate this number, but I just showed you the quick and easy way because some people will turn off the video if it's too complicated. So let's move on to the soul urge number. For the soul urge number, you're going to take the same name that was written on your birth certificate at the time of your birth, but this time you're just going to find all of the numbers that correspond to the vowels in your whole entire name. Okay, so only the vowels. And these days, most of the time, I consider the Y to be a vowel. Unless it sounds like a ya in your name, then I wouldn't consider it to be a vowel. So you're just going to take all of those numbers and just add them together straight across until you get a single digit. And unless you get an 11, 22, or 33, those are master numbers and you don't reduce them. If you've gotten married or legally changed your name for some other reason, you can calculate the altered version of your name and see if that resonates with you as well. Because sometimes with this particular number, there will be a shift in energy when you change your name. Okay, not always, but sometimes. Now for the birthday number, this is really easy. You just take the day of the month that you were born on and reduce it to a single digit. Unless it's an 11 or a 22, because those are master numbers and you don't reduce them. So these are the leaders of the New Earth numbers. And before I show you exactly where to look for these numbers within your chart, I want to explain exactly why these are the New Earth leader numbers. And I did want to say that you don't have to have these numbers in your chart to be a New Earth leader. Most likely, you will have these numbers in your chart, but not always. Okay, so if this really resonates with you, but you don't have these numbers, then you're probably still a leader of the New Earth, right? Let's talk about why those numbers on the left side are the leadership numbers first. So there are other numbers that have leadership qualities, of course, but these numbers tend to have the most leadership qualities. And that's because 1, of course, no surprise there, right? 1 is the number of the leader, the person that takes the initiative, the person that is good at giving advice to others and showing them how to do something, and has a very leadership type of quality to it, right? The person that kind of does something first and shows other people the way. That's the energy of the number 1. 6 has a lot of leadership qualities because this is a very parental type of energy, as I always say in my videos. It's the number of responsibility, right? People with this number often feel like they have a lot of responsibility on their plate. So it has like a very parental kind of energy to it. And these people often have good leadership skills as a result. 8 is a leadership number because 8 is the number of power and wealth and status, and and so to have those things, often people will be given good leadership qualities. And so 8s often make really good leaders, and they make really good managers. They're really good at managing people. And I will say with these numbers that if they don't choose to demonstrate these leadership qualities with other people, they are at least good at doing this with themselves, right? They tend to be really good leaders of themselves, at least. So Master 11 is a leadership number because of the double 1s. So because of that, it has a lot of the 1 energy. And like number 1, a lot of leaders of countries, presidents, kings, and queens have had this number. Master 22 is a leadership number because 22 is the number of building structures within society that will shape or change society in some sort of way. They also make really good CEOs, right, of like companies and businesses. And if not that, you'll see them as like the CEO of the family. My grandmother was a Master 22, and she wasn't, the CEO of a business, but she was the CEO of our family for sure. And 6 is like that too. Like 6 has that CEO of the family type of energy. And by the way, all of these numbers, they have that CEO kind of quality to them, where these definitely could be like the leaders of some sort of business or company. All of these numbers have that kind of energy within them. So if you look at the right side of the screen, we have the spiritual numbers. And that doesn't mean that the other numbers can't be spiritual or don't have spiritual qualities. It just means that these numbers tend to be the most spiritual. 7, 9, and master number 11. So let's talk about why that is. 7 is a very introspective number. It's the number of going within, and this number is all about the inward journey, right? The inward journey within yourself. And through that inward journey, people often reach spiritual awakening and higher levels of consciousness, right? All you 7s out there with the 7 energy, you know that you guys will be very introspective, and they can be the most unspiritual people or the most spiritual people. So 9 is a spiritual number because it's the last number, so it's a very highly evolved number. And it's all about you as that person being the one that brings a little bit of source energy onto the planet, either through your helpful acts towards others, or through your creativity, or through your spirituality. And so we see a lot of spiritual leaders that will have this number. And because of that, 9 also has a lot of leadership qualities. These tend to be like spiritual leaders. Master 11 is a very spiritual number because it is the number of the bridge. If you look at it, it looks like a bridge, and that represents the bridge between the spiritual world and the physical world. So often one of their purposes is to be the bridge or the messenger between those two worlds. So now let's talk about where to look for these numbers within your chart. If you were born to be a leader of this new earth that is being created, you will have at least one number from both sides. So that means you can have any of the numbers on the spiritual side or any of the numbers on the leadership side, and it has to be both sides, right? So at least one number from both sides, and that is definite confirmation that you were born to be a new leader of this new earth. And if you are one of these people, keep watching because I'm going to give you some guidance towards the end of this video. And those numbers can appear anywhere within the 6 core numbers of your chart. Okay, so those 6 core numbers are your life path number, your expression destiny number, your soul urge, your birthday and maturity number, and your personality inner dreams number. Okay, I'll put links to videos below to calculate some of these other numbers. If you have more than one, well, that's even more confirmation, right? Now, so if these numbers are within your core chart, then that's definite confirmation for you. But these numbers can also sometimes appear within the less significant numbers as well. So you might want to check out some of the less significant numbers in your chart. Because if you really resonate with the characteristics of a new earth leader, which I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, but you also have some of these numbers in the less significant parts of your chart, then that can be confirmation as well. So now let's talk about some advice and guidance for all of you new earth leaders that have just figured out that you are one of these people. My first piece of guidance for you is to stop trying to fit into the old world. As I had mentioned at the beginning of the video, a lot of new earth leaders never fit into the world because they weren't meant to fit into that old world. They were meant to be leaders of the new world. So let it go. This need to fit into the old world. The old world, which is dying, by the way. It's dying, right? And it's struggling. So it's fading away. And it's going to be gone within the next, within the next few decades. So why try to fit into something that is dying already, right? So let go of that need. Accept your position as a new earth leader. Okay, accept that this is one of the reasons you are here on the planet at this time, and claim it, right? Claim it as your own and be confident in your role. And then another thing too is remember that leadership is not just you, becoming like the leader of a group. Sure, of course you can do that. I mean, a lot of new earth leaders will end up doing that, right? They will end up starting like YouTube channels and TikTok channels, or starting some sort of communities, or some sort of spiritually based business, or they will definitely do that. But you don't have to necessarily do that, right? You can just be a leader of the new earth by you spreading the knowledge that you learn and you helping to awaken the people within your social group, right? Your friends and your family. And you being that guidance for that group of people that you are around, right? So it doesn't have to be like the masses that you are awakening and you are spreading this knowledge to, or you can just be doing this through the people that you are working with individually or through your own social group. Now, another thing is that if you are taking on a leadership position where you are affecting more than just that, right? Like you're affecting larger numbers of people, or you're taking on something that is a little bit more ambitious, then you want to be consistent, right? Be consistent. Even if you feel like you're getting let down, it's not working out the way you want it to. Remember, the new earth hasn't been created yet. We're still kind of in the old earth. It's dying and people are becoming more open-minded and they're becoming more aware of some of these things that will become more prevalent in the new earth, but we're not there completely yet. So there is going to be a little bit of a challenge until we get there. So don't be let down, even if you're not as successful in the beginning as you would like.
you just need to keep going, and you need to be consistent and keep going even when there's no success, because that's going to change in the next few years as we really cross over into New Earth. And a lot of these spiritually based professions and careers that are kind of just poo-pooed and seen as a joke right now, these will be the new careers that everybody is trying to get into in the New Earth, right, in the next few decades. So, like I said, you're going to see huge changes in the planet over the next 10 to 20 years, and the planet will be completely different in the next 100 years. So, things that are seen as a joke now will be taken seriously in the future and will be very popular and accepted in the future. It might be hard to see it that way now, but it will, right? Everything is changing. So you just have to keep going until we get there. And know that when you're making something or you're doing something, you might not be doing it for a large group of people right now, but you are creating something for future people, right? Future generations. People that will eventually wake up that haven't woken up yet, right? They're going to wake up eventually, but they haven't woken up yet. So just think that whatever it is you're doing, you're working on as a New Earth leader, you are creating it for future people. And see rejection as the first step to success, right? If you feel like you're getting rejected in whatever it is that you're doing, always remember that rejection is always the first step to success. People that have succeeded in the world, they didn't just succeed the first time they did something. Most of the time it was after like 100 or thousands of attempts. After like 1,000 attempts, and they finally succeeded, right? So don't see failure as a failure. It's always the first step to succeeding. And always just give 100% to everything you do, right? Put 100% of yourself into everything you do, and always be authentic. Be your authentic self. Not being yourself is a sign of the old earth, right? That's the old earth, where everybody was trying to be somebody that they're not. In the new earth, everybody will be more authentic, and everybody will be more like who they really are on the inside. So you need to be that, right? You need to be that authentic version of you, the person who you are at your core, and show that to other people so that they can see. You have to be that guiding light that shows people that it's safe to be authentic, and people will appreciate your authenticity and they will gravitate to you more. And then another thing is step into the unknown, right? Get out of your comfort zone and take more risks. You're being called to do that as a New Earth leader. You're being called to take risks and to really just step up to the plate. Get out of your comfort zone. This is your purpose. This is your destiny. The universe is going to support you in whatever it is that you are scared to do, and whatever it is that you might be reluctant towards taking a risk in. With this energy as a New Earth leader, you're always going to be more supported by the universe, because that's kind of what your purpose is, right? So get out of your comfort zone and know that you will be supported, right? Take calculated risks, right? Don't do things that are too crazy. Make sure they are calculated, but definitely take more risks and step into the unknown.
So did it turn out that you were born to be a leader of the New Earth? And if so, does it resonate with you? Let us know in the comments below. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up and share it with other people. It really helps to get this information out there when you do that. If you want to get a personal reading with me, you can head on over to my website, starsalignwithcarmen.com. I would love to have you subscribe and to become part of the family. You can also follow me on Instagram. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care.